Hello friends, welcome back to my channel Ray the Chemist. Today on our show Science Friday we are going to talk about carbon capture. So let's get into it. So first of all, what is carbon capture? So now from the name only we can get an idea that we are talking about carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide is a very harmful greenhouse gas which actually is giving a very important role in increasing the temperature of our earth, and that is not good because high temperatures can lead to many difficulties in the future. So if you talk about the temperature before the industrial revolution and temperature now, it has increased by 2 degrees. So this is a pretty significant temperature change, and we need to take care of it, not to increase the temperature even more, because that could be detrimental to the health of people and also for many different organisms living on the earth. So now what is carbon capture? It basically is capturing the carbon dioxide and separating it from all the other gases. Now we basically are just taking the carbon dioxide, either it be from burning fuels or basically just from fuel only, or even from the air. We are just taking out the carbon dioxide and getting that in its gaseous form. Now there can be many things that can be done to this carbon dioxide. We'll be discussing more about them in just a few minutes. So now let's talk about why do we need it. As I already have told you, carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas which is very detrimental to the which if in increased quantity, it is very detrimental to the life of living organisms on the earth. So just to reduce this amount of carbon dioxide in our atmosphere, we are taking this initiative for carbon capture. Now first of all, let's talk about the processes which can be used to separate carbon dioxide, and we are specifically will be talking about two processes here, which are post combustion and also pre combustion. Okay, so both are related to burning of fuel and also how fuel is acting as a source of carbon dioxide for our atmosphere. Okay, so first method that we'll be talking about is post combustion. Post combustion means that combustion has already taken place, we have already burned the fossil fuel, and now we are trying to separate the carbon dioxide gas out of it. So let's start off by first of all taking the flue gas. So what is the flue gas? Flue gas is basically the gas or the soot or all the stuff which is coming out of the combustion chamber. After the burning of the fuel, there are many gases like nitrous oxide, sulfurous oxide, carbon dioxide, and many other such harmful gases. And our goal here is to just separate the carbon dioxide from this flue gas. So first of all, the flue gas enters into this solvent chamber. Now the solvent chamber is filled with a solvent, and that is generally ammonia. Okay, so that ammonia is actually capturing the carbon dioxide, and the ammonia is now saturated with carbon dioxide, whereas all the other gases do not mix with ammonia and they are flown out from here. Now these can be thrown out, they are of no use now. Now let's take a look at what happens to our saturated carbon dioxide solvent. Now as we all know that ammonia is a very easy to boil liquid, easy to boil chemical you can say, and the ammonia is boiled off and moved back to the solvent chamber, where this cycle again and again continues. Now what we are left with is the extracted carbon dioxide. What happens in this Schriper chamber, which is this chamber right here, basically we are hitting the ammonia, saturated ammonia solution that is saturated with carbon dioxide with superheated steam. So as water boils at 100 degrees C, this temperature of the steam is even more than 200 degrees C. So you can see how hot the steam is, and it is when it hits the saturated ammonia solution, it basically separates the ammonia and carbon dioxide. The carbon dioxide is taken out and then we deal with it and whereas the ammonia is again moved back to the solvent chamber so that this process can continue. So this is about post combustion, when the combustion has already taken place and now we are wanting to separate the carbon dioxide from the flue gas. Okay, now talking about our pre-combustion chamber. So here we are basically treating the fossil fuel, which may be petrol, diesel, coal, whatever it is. We're treating that fossil fuel and converting it into basically two things, carbon dioxide and hydrogen, because we all know these fossil fuels are basically hydrocarbons. This basically means they are mainly formed up of three elements: carbon, oxygen and hydrogen. The hydrogen here, let me just draw it with another color. The hydrogen here is taken out as our fuel, whereas the carbon and oxygen, they fuse together to give us the carbon dioxide. So now let's talk about what happens in this pre-combustion process where the carbon dioxide is separated from the fossil fuels. So first of all, the fossil fuel is burnt but with pure oxygen. There is no other gas with which it is burnt. It's burnt with pure oxygen. So now this releases a lot of carbon monoxide and hydrogen gas. These are the two main products which are formed from this combustion reaction. Now these two products which are formed are now put into this reactor vessel, where carbon monoxide is reacted with water to produce carbon dioxide, whereas hydrogen remains as is. Both of these are separated and then we deal with the carbon dioxide, whereas the hydrogen is used as the fuel source. Now one very big question that I need to discuss here is, why not just heat or burn the mixture up to convert the carbon monoxide to carbon dioxide? Because as we know, carbon monoxide is also very flammable. It burns with a blue flame. The reason that we are not burning it, because it is also mixed with hydrogen, and if hydrogen is burnt, it will create water which is of basically no use to us. We want hydrogen as our fuel. So that is why we use this alternative method of reacting it with water to convert the carbon monoxide into carbon dioxide. So this was basically what happens in the pre and post combustion reaction. Now very important question to talk about is, now what do we do with the carbon dioxide that we have extracted out? Now one very important discovery which is made is to convert this carbon dioxide into fuel like octane. Now octane is also hydrocarbon, and carbon dioxide along with hydrogen is put into use with the Fischer-Tropsch process, where it converts the carbon dioxide and hydrogen into a fuel like octane. Now this is known as a synthetic crude fuel because we are actually creating it synthetically, and also it is not very refined. You can also refine it to use it in cars. So this is one method to deal with it, and other method we can do is just simply store it. Now if you can store carbon dioxide in basically wells like this, see, here is the ground surface. This green pen denotes our ground surface. Below it are many reservoirs which were first filled with fossil fuels, but after we have extracted them, now we can fill them with our carbon dioxide gas. Now when we fill them with this carbon dioxide gas, this is not like a 100% good solution for this problem, because if by some chance it leaks out into the air, very concentrated carbon dioxide is very harmful for any living species or any living human or any living organism around it. So this is a very big problem that we need to deal with. But also another way is to store it in deep seas. So we can also store it in deep seas, where the carbon dioxide is pushed down by the heavy pressure exerted by the water above it. So these are the two ways which we can do to store the carbon dioxide, or just to convert it into octane and then use it in cars or vehicles to run them. Now let's talk about one more term which is very important, which is carbon neutral. Carbon neutral, we are talking about carbon dioxide. There are basically three categories: carbon positive, which is bad; carbon negative, which is good; and carbon neutral, which is okay. You are basically in carbon neutral. You are neither creating carbon dioxide nor you are decreasing the amount of carbon dioxide. You're basically just putting it to a sustainable or a stable level so that it does not increase. How do we do that? Let's see. So if you think about it, first of all, we have the air. We have the air here. Air is full of carbon dioxide. Through many plants, we are converting this carbon dioxide into a very simple fuel, which is octane. Now this conversion is reducing the amount of carbon dioxide in the air. Simple. After which we are then burning the fuel produced in vehicles like cars. So now this is actually adding that carbon dioxide back into our atmosphere. But again, that carbon dioxide which is added in the atmosphere, right here you can see the fuel is added into a car, and it is then adding up the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. But that atmospheric carbon dioxide is again converted into fuel. So neither you are inputting any a more amount of carbon dioxide into the air, nor you are reducing it. So this is known as a carbon neutral process. So that was it for today's video. Hope you liked it. Please